And now for the Best Action Movie Award. We've seen a lot of action movies this year, and there was a lot of good ones and there were a lot of bad ones.
I'm really going to have to dig back early in the year and go with Taken on this one. Liam Neeson, I claim some relation to him, can't prove it, but he's a really cool guy. I love all his movies. And the story, it had a good story to go with it. It's an action first film, but also good story, father-daughter relations, trouble in the family, and he steps up and takes out half of Europe, and he gets the job.
Yes, and I agree, it was a good movie, but for my pick of the Best Action Movie, I have to say Ninja Assassin. I mean, I've never seen, now there's really no story to speak of, but that movie had some of the best death animations ever. Like I said in the written review, it would put some of the Saw movies to shame about how some of those people died. It was just very creative in that, and like you went in and you got what you were going to see: ninjas killing people, blood and guts and gore everywhere. I mean, it was beautiful. And now for the Best Comic Book Movie Awards, we only have 4 in this category: Watchmen, X-Men Origins Wolverine, Surrogates, and Whiteout. And I think we both quite unanimously agree that the best comic book movie of the year is Watchmen.
Yeah, it was, many comic book movies have been coming out for quite a while now, and Watchmen, head and shoulders, it's the most detailed page of the comic book itself. They didn't really change a whole lot. It's about 90% or so just straight from the comic book. They really represented it well. Very well made, very well acted. I love the whole story that Alan Moore put together. Very original way of looking at superheroes, and they captured that in the movie.
And I agree with Alan. It was the most faithful adaptation of anything ever, in my opinion. I mean, right down to the minor details, and I mean, I think even the dialogue itself was basically taken straight from the comic book. Like, there are only minor details or changes in the conversations between the characters.
But yeah, it was the best comic book movie adaptation I've ever seen. And we may never quite see one that close again.
And now for our Best Comedy Movie of the Year award. And this is Aaron. He's usually behind the camera, and he's going to read off our list of nominees for the award.
That's right. Okay, so the nominees we've got for this year's Best Comedy Movie are The Hangover, Funny People, Extract, Couples Retreat, Observe and Report, Paul Blart Mall Cop, I Love You Man, Medea Goes to Jail, is that what it was called? Okay. And then, explain this one to me, Jared. Jennifer's Body, why is that on the list here?
That was more funny than anything else. It wasn't, just a straight up horror or anything like that. It was sort of like a black comedy, if you could think of it in that respect.
Okay. Well, nevertheless, I'm going to go with my pick, and I think, Jared, you agree with me on this one. I think we both, pretty much everyone agrees that The Hangover was probably the best comedy this year.
Yes.
I don't know, it just kind of came out of nowhere. I don't know if it was just the right time for that kind of movie, but it really got a lot of people laughing. I know that I laughed the most at that movie this year, so.
Yeah, I mean, I did a pretty good bit of laughing in that movie myself. And it did really well for like an R-rated comedy. It made like a huge amount of money, and it was well paced. It had the right laughs at the right times. It was just an overall good comedy.
Okay, so right now we're going to go over the best drama of the year, and our nominees are Public Enemies, Inglourious Bastards, The Soloist, The Taking of Pelham 123, Law Abiding Citizen, Amelia, The Men Who Stare at Goats, and The International. And I think, at least for my pick, I'm going to go with Inglourious Bastards. I don't know if you would strictly call it a drama, because there's a lot of humor and action, and it kind of spans a lot of different genres, but to me that's definitely the best movie out of this category.
Yeah, that's a very good choice. It's a very tough decision, but I'm going to reach all the way back to spring and go with The Soloist with Robert Downey Jr. and Jamie Foxx. And you know, I just liked the story of it, the way they filmed it, and the message that it had from it. With you know, basically the idea that mental illness is better treated by friendship and being nice to people rather than just putting pills into people. And it's kind of a dual story there. If you haven't seen it yet, it's kind of really good the way they did it, and it's really good.
Well, I liked a movie about killing Nazis better. So, that's just me.
And now for our Worst Movie of the Year award, aka the Punisher Warzone Award. We're pretty much unanimous on this. We don't even have, like, nothing came this close to being this bad. And it was Gamer. I mean, you have to collectively, like, you have to get a group of people together and collectively say, okay, we're going to make the worst movie ever.
Yeah, they threw a lot of money in. It almost seemed like the intention of just making something bad. It was just completely thrown together with no cohesiveness. The acting, even though there were some capable people in it,
Some very capable people.
you know, the acting itself, it's just like, well, hey, let's just get through this and get it over with.
The premise was good, but the execution of that premise was very, very stupid. I mean, like Alan said, you had some capable actors. You had Keira Sedgwick, you had Michael C. Hall, you had Gerard Butler. I mean, I've even seen Ludacris do better in movies than he did in this one, and that's saying something. And now for the big finish, our Movie of the Year award. This award goes to what we think is the best movie overall of the year. We've seen quite a few of them. My pick for this award, if you haven't figured it out by now, I'm a Star Trek nerd, it's going to be Star Trek. Best movie ever.
Even better than The Dark Knight.
It's up there.
Really?
It could contend with it, in my opinion.
That's a bold statement, but I'm going to go right back to where we were earlier and talk about The Soloist again. And to me, that was my favorite movie. You know, again, it had that kind of a good point to it and everything. And usually I would go with maybe something over the summer, but Soloist, it got it done for me. So, thank you, Soloist.
He's a socially responsible member of the Ash Movie Review, and we applaud him for that. And now, we want to just take a moment to, first of all, thank all of our friends and subscribers and members on MySpace, Facebook, the various social networking sites. And we want to send a special thanks to Mark and Sam, who did vote for the End of the Year Movie Award special. They actually did throw in their votes, and we appreciate you for that. And for the people who didn't vote, we hope, in the future, if we do something like this, that you are able to find time to go ahead and put your 2 cents in, because we do appreciate that. What we want to say now, we want to go ahead and talk about a little bit about the future of the Ash Movie Review and where we hope to, and where we see ourselves going with this. They're going to be reviewing movies. So we're going to be talking about them in depth about what you probably should and should not see as far as movies. But we have a couple of ideas. We have ideas for what mainly we want to do a website. And once we get to that stage, we'll be happy to include all of y'all in that. And you see, we have a couple of contest ideas as well. And where you get something from us, as far as a signed copy of a movie from the Ash Movie Review. You never know. In a couple of years, that might be worth something.
Yeah, that could be an eBay hot item one day. So, man, we're here for you. That's why we're here. The common people, just like you, we're here.
The common people, you are our purpose. You give us a reason to go out and watch movies.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, with Taken, at least, Taken, he killed people, less gore, like, oh.